Hello, welcome to VNews Podcast Daily, and following are today's highlights.
President of the Republic of Panama, Ricardo Martinelli Berucan, begins visit to Vietnam. Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc asked for the launch of a nationwide campaign to fight crime, especially organized crime. The fishing village of Cư Vat in northern Quảng Ninh province has entered the list of 60 most scenic fishing villages in the world.
President of the Republic of Panama, Ricardo Alberto Martinelli Beruca, was given a state welcoming ceremony in Hanoi on the morning of October 25th, on the start of his visit to Vietnam. He later discussed a variety of current issues with President Trương Tấn Sang.
This is the first visit made by a head of state of Panama to Vietnam since the two countries first established diplomatic ties. Both countries have also always supported each other at multilateral forums. Panama is one of the countries that supported Vietnam joining the World Trade Organization, as well as becoming a non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council for 2008-2009. The country also acknowledged Vietnam as having a market economy status in September 2010. Both presidents praised the effective cooperative results that Vietnam and Panama had recorded in recent times. Two-way trade between the two countries surged to $254 million in 2011 from only $50 million in 2005. In the first half of this year, the volume of trade between both countries reached $120 million. Panama currently has 9 investment projects in Vietnam with a total registered capital of over $51 million. After the talks, Sang and Berucan witnessed the signing of an agreement on cultural cooperation between both governments and a memorandum of understanding on establishing a bilateral consultation mechanism between the Ministries of Foreign Affairs.
Vietnam is always keen to receive the United Nations and international community's assistance in realizing its socio-economic development goals and the UN Millennium Development Goals.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng gave a reception for United Nations Resident Coordinator in Vietnam, Pratibha Mehta, on October 24th on the United Nations Day. He said Vietnam is currently focusing on restructuring the economy and ensuring the sustainable growth and social welfare. It is especially creating more fairness in assessing health care and social services among the poor households. Dũng expressed hopes that the United Nations will assist Vietnam in coping with climate change and sea level rise and pledged the creation of best conditions for the UN agencies to operate effectively. For her part, Mehta asserted that Vietnam is always an active and responsible member of the UN since it joined the organization 35 years ago. The UN will always support Vietnam in achieving its development goals, Mehta said.
Vietnamese war veterans and specialists who once worked in Cambodia during the wartime met in Hanoi on October 24th with the Cambodians who assisted them in the period.
The Cambodian delegation was led by Lim Chai, Under-Secretary of State for Cambodian Ministry of Social Affairs, Veterans and Youth Rehabilitations. The host and guests recall memorable fights against the Pol Pot genocidal regime. Between 1979 and 1989, Vietnamese volunteer soldiers fought alongside the Cambodian armed forces. Later, Vietnamese specialists came to help Cambodian people rebuild their country. Lim Chai said he hopes both nations will increase public awareness of the traditional bilateral friendship and solidarity, especially among the youth, to help foster close sentiments between the two peoples. He stressed that Cambodian people will never forget the immense sacrifice of the Vietnamese volunteer soldiers and specialists.
Deputy Prime Minister Nguyễn Xuân Phúc has asked for the launch of a far-reaching nationwide campaign to fight crime, especially organized crime, when the traditional New Year festival is coming up.
At the conference of the steering committee responsible for National Targets Program on Crime Prevention in Hanoi on October 24th, Phúc urged the committee to come up with measures to enhance the prevention of different kinds of crime, focusing on economics, corruption, and drug fields. Attending the event, Minister of Public Security Trần Đại Quang highlighted the remarkable achievements in ensuring security and social order have contributed a great deal to maintaining political security and developing the country's social economy and international diplomatic relations. It is also essential to complete the state's legal system on crime prevention as soon as possible to safeguard national security nationwide, added Quang. The meeting reported that law enforcement agencies at all levels nationwide investigated and prosecuted over 37,000 criminal cases this year, including 18,000 ones related to drugs and 11 others involved economic issues.
The Vietnam Fatherland Front's Central Committee hosted a get-together in Ho Chi Minh City on October 24th for representatives of the Muslim community across the city to mark the Muslim festival of Raya Haji.
Celebrated annually on the 10th, 11th and 12th day of the 12th month in the Islamic calendar, the Raya Haji festival is one of the three most important annual festivals for Muslims. It is also when people in Islamic countries welcome in the new year. In Vietnam, most Muslims live in the southern provinces such as An Giang, Tây Ninh, and Sóc Trăng. Around 6,000 Muslims are now residing in Ho Chi Minh City, most of them from the Cham people. In recent years, they have made a significant contribution to strengthening national unity in the country.
The Saigon High-Tech Park in Ho Chi Minh City marked its 10th founding anniversary on October 24th. It has so far generated jobs for nearly 17,000 local residents.
Presented at the celebration, Lê Thanh Hải, Secretary of the Ho Chi Minh City Park Committee, said the park has been recognized as an important facility and an impetus for the modernization and restructuring of the city economy. According to the Park Management Board, the Saigon High-Tech Park currently houses 61 projects with registered capital of more than $2.2 billion. Tenants include 33 foreign direct investment projects capitalized at nearly $1.8 billion, including that of the chip manufacturer Intel and electronics component manufacturer Jabin from the U.S. 29 projects are operational, obtaining a cumulative production of more than $3.6 billion, including exports of $3.5 million. Production from the projects rose from $1 billion in 2011 to over $1.6 billion in the first 9 months of 2012.
The fishing village of Gavan in northern Quảng Province has entered the list of 16 most scenic fishing villages in the world. This selection was made by the globally popular tourism information website journeyetc.com.
The ranking is based on the village's historical values and its natural beauty, as it is surrounded by majestic limestone hills of Hạ Long Bay, a World Natural Heritage. The website remarks that Cửa Vạt is a beautiful village, and tourists should visit it at least once in their lives. There, they will have a chance to take impressive photos of the floating fishing village with its colorful rat houses and the small carved streets. When visiting the village, tourists can immerse themselves in its charming beauty while discovering the rustic lifestyles of the Cửa Vạt fishing community. The other villages named by the website as the world's most scenic included locations in Switzerland, Mexico, Spain, Italy, and Japan.
And that is the end of our news today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.